Welcome to T Boxing. Here with me I have Peter Graham, just at the INC Prospect Gym here in Prospect. Great little family gym you've got going here, Peter. How long has it been open for?
I've been running Prospect IMC for about 2 years now. When we came, it was in a little bit of a state, but now it's kicking off. It's a families train here, from little kids right up to, of course, people like myself and Lucas Brown. Every now and then we have Mark Hunt drop in for some MMA training a while ago. So it's a professional run facility, with the ability and the capabilities to cater for everyone.
Yeah. And what was it that gave you the desire to start your own gym? I know we met a little while ago at Boxing Works in the city. What was it that inspired you to sort of go out and do your own thing?
Well, I guess what inspired me the most to have my own gym is you can't fight forever, unfortunately, as my wife told me. I just wanted to have something to move on to. You don't want to be holding pads with people when you're 60, unless you want to. It's nice to have a choice. I mean, of course, I love training people, and I love to be around it. But I had to kind of move on to my own thing and open up my own establishment. Because I really like karate, kickboxing, MMA, and jiu-jitsu. So unlike a lot of other people, I only kind of do one thing. I like a bunch of things, which, I really wanted to have the ability to run my own place and cater to everything that I like.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned as well, families come down here quite a lot of children around. How have you found that? Combat sports in general, so particularly MMA, I'd say, have got a bad rap in certain sections of the media with certain parents and that type of thing. And what are your thoughts on that side of the sport and the laws governing the safety around it?
Well, a lot of people say that to me all the time. It's kind of frustrating. I mean, I started from a karate background, and karate really gave me the discipline and the respect that I needed to become a professional athlete. So the kids we have, the younger kids, they all do karate, but it's the real thing. It's it's real discipline. It's real martial arts. Really teach them how to protect themselves, look after themselves, and be fit, but also respect. Which is something that's missing in a lot of things. And because it's karate, it's discipline here as well. It's got to be reflected at home and at school. Yeah. So it really leads them up, to be positive, healthy, confident people. And as far as running it's like a family-orientated gym, it's because, well, I got a family. I want somewhere that's safe for my kids, and I want somewhere that's safe for my wife to train. That they're not going to feel intimidated and stuff. But on the same page, I got to train and I got to have a professional facility. And I've seen a few gyms run in the United States and Brazil that run a little bit similar to this, and I thought, that seems to be the best way to do it. A combat sports facility that's caters for families, and if someone's good enough, gives them the ability and the connections to go all the way.
Absolutely, and it does really have that feel, and it's a great gym to be in. So we mentioned it last time we were down, and you certainly see us around for a bit of sparring. But back to yourself. You got a fight coming up, I believe, in Poland.
Yep, after Poland, KSW26. That's a big fight. I've been told it's actually the biggest MMA card in Europe at the moment, so it's going to be really exciting. I've never been to Poland. I've been to a lot of places. I've been close. I've been a little to the left and a little bit to the right. I've been to Bosnia and Herzegovina and Croatia, and I've been to Russia, but never to Poland. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited to go to Poland. And of course, like most people, I've got a few Polish friends, so they're going for the other guy.
Yeah, they've got some big lads out there, that's for sure.
They do.
So do you know, have you just got one fight coming up, or is it a competition?
Well, it is a tournament. We have a multi-fight contract deal with them, but it's one fight at a time. Yeah. Of course, I'm still contracted to Bellator in the United States. I have what they call a non-exclusive contract, which sounds terrible, but it's actually really good, which means that although I have to run things past Spike TV, who I'm contracted to, which owns Bellator, I have the ability to fight wherever I want. So it's a great company to work for. I'm really fortunate that I get to do everything I love.
Get to travel as well now over to another tournament, another country.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier in your background, karate, boxing, and UFC. And have you got any ambitions to return to boxing or anything else like that we see back in the boxing?
You know what? I really love boxing. I guess the biggest problem is with boxing is it's a financial thing. I mean, a lot of people say, this could be famous or win that title there. Everyone already knows who I am, who's going to ever know me, I guess. And quite clearly, I've won a few titles, and that's great. But as a family man, I mean, I just go where the money is. the true essence of the term. I'm a prize fighter. Money talks and bullshit walks. I still really love boxing. I'm passionate about it. And of course tonight sparring with Lucas Brown, awesome athlete. But at the moment the most lucrative thing for me kind of goes MMA, kickboxing, boxing. Although they say of course boxing at the top end makes more money than everything. Very small part. Yeah, very small part. It's incredibly difficult to make any money at all as a combat sports athlete.
And hard work as well.
There's a little bit of hard work every day, and then there's a lot on the same day as well.
Absolutely. And so you just mentioned sparring with Lucas. I know we've been down a couple of times and you guys getting it on. A few of the younger lads in the gym. What are your thoughts on Lucas? You've obviously seen a lot of fighters come through the ages through Australia. What are your thoughts on Lucas, as an athlete, as a competitor, and just as a bloke to have around?
I first met Lucas Brown when he was doing MMA, and I guess the first striking thing you see about him, he's so incredibly athletic, and he is huge. He's a massive dude. Like I'm 6'3" and about 115 kilos, and he's about, 6'5", 6'6", and 120 something kilos, and he is quite literally one of the most incredible athletes I've ever met in my life. He's such a humble, nice guy. I mean, he looks terrifying, and he is. You get hit by him a few times, you realise, you might as well be getting hit by a Mack truck. But he's got an incredible amount of power, speed, and he has, as they like to say, that intestinal fortitude. You can whack him and he looks straight back at you and nothing changes. I really hope he becomes the first Australian to be a boxing world champion. I'm a massive fan. He's my friend and he's my mate. He's a top bloke. And I know him through combat sports, that's where we met. But for me, this community is small. I mean, he said it himself. It's a small community, so we know. Everyone kind of knows each other. And if he goes on to win a world title, make millions of dollars, mate, I'll be stoked for him. He's a good bloke.
Yeah, really, and he's been great with us, giving us a lot of access to chat with him. As you say, he's a really nice guy to be around. We certainly tipped him to have that title shot soon. Mentioned a few fights that might be down the line. Fairly sort of mouth-watering. How did you find the promotions, in terms of the boxing promotions here, how professional they were in Australia? Is that something that has been voiced as a concern and a reason that the sport maybe hasn't taken off quite as much as MMA has?
I think MMA is really the flavour of the month at the moment, which is great. However, I think it's quite frustrating for combat sports within Australia that the athletes don't seem to get the accolades that they deserve. These guys work super hard for a very long time, and they're not really appreciated. I mean, guys like Mark Hunt is a perfect example. Man, what an athlete! He's just, he's at the top end of UFC, 1K1. He's such a tremendous athlete. He's a good guy. He's a family guy, and he doesn't get much of a mention. And he's been up at that top level for a very, very long time. And then there's other guys who have worked really hard, and they're far more famous in other countries, which means I kind of feel that we kind of feel a little let down. In other countries, we get great sponsorship deals and good money, and we get in front pages of the sports section in other countries. I'm more recognised in Russia than I am in Australia, and I'm recognised in Australia. I'm easily more recognised in Japan than Australia, and just recently more recognised in the United States, and that upsets me because I love this country, and we all fight for Australia.
And considering the pool of fighters from Australia, should be the guys at that top end should certainly be a lot more recognised, a lot more noticeable. Certainly something that we hope changes in the near future. Australian fans, get behind your fighters. Any final plugs? Where can people catch your KSW fight? Will they be able to watch that over here?
Yeah, there's a video streaming network. You just go to the KSW26 website and hit on the links, as they say, and you can watch me beat up a nice Polish guy. Actually, he doesn't look that nice. He's got tats everywhere and a mohawk, and it's kind of scary looking. But Don't fear, I'll fight him. You watch.
Well, Australia will be behind you, and yeah, we'll see you there, and we'll have a chat with you when you get back and see how it went.
Awesome. You know, as I like to say, listen for the voice, the face could change.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, Peter. Appreciate that.
All right.